Hey guys, I'm David Mills, and I'm part of the Fusion team, kind of the head designer of the business or the program. And I'm here, of course, with Joe and Dan and Greg, as you guys expected. Today is exciting. I'm gonna let you know a little bit about how things came together with Fusion, because that'll help to explain Traffic Tsunami. That is your an exclusive um, bonus in essence that's it's available to you. There's a charge for it, but it's only available to Fusion members, and it's for scaling up big time from what you've already put into Fusion and been doing. So it's exciting. Also, another piece of good news: people have been hoping for a Facebook group. Let us know in the question box if you particularly would like that, a special Facebook group for Fusion only. So about 6 months ago, um, things started coming together for a new project, which became what you're listening to right now. And Fusion actually came third. There was two other things that were an amazing new development for you guys, like for members of programs that I was looking to make when it comes to consulting and Google SEO consulting and things related to that. There was Traffic Tsunami was getting created behind the scenes, and it was a kind of a masterpiece of Greg Morrison, and then he started masterminding as well with Dan Anton and Joe Marfolio, and together it's like their life's work. They've been doing this for well over a decade at this point each, and it's an extraordinary program for 2020 for what's going on right now. What's really hot with consulting and also with making affiliate money, basically for harnessing free and mostly free traffic and integrating that as well with some paid ads and some YouTube. So they were working on that behind the scenes, and it was going to be really explosive for 2020. At the same time, Eric Brief and Michael Tessalona had just come out with Sales Machine, which totally changes the game for you guys in terms of if you are looking to start a one-man or a small agency. And in terms of getting new clients is a big deal, right? You have two big stumbling blocks. One is being able to fulfill something really exciting and sexy and that you can charge good money for and that looks terrific to potential clients. And the other is being able to get leads and sell them, right, to get your clients. So Sales Machine was happening as well, and it was crushing it for the few apprentices that got in early to that. Then we continued to mastermind, right? Eric Brief, Michael Tessalona, Joe, Dan Anton, Greg Morrison, myself, Mike Long, Kosta, Colin, creator of Fusion Command Center. And that's where Fusion came from, as something that would stand alone and would be perfect as something that's an incredible sweet spot, right, as we talked about, and you, of course, agreed since you're here and in Fusion, an incredible sweet spot for a way to get your foot in the door, get started with consulting, have something that fully stands alone. It's not beginner or entry level or amateur. You're a complete professional in Fusion, fully able to fulfill something excellent for clients. But the ability to scale up was always going to be there. And actually, we started with it. We started with Traffic Tsunami and Sales Machine, started having it be there and created, and then created Fusion as a way to get started perfectly, to be just ready to take full advantage of both of those. And you heard about that briefly on the Fusion webinar itself. But today we're releasing, it's fully available. You can be in there tonight inside of Traffic Tsunami. We're going to have Greg and Dan and Joe each talk about what they have in there for you. But it's extraordinary now how you're going to be able to scale up and command thousands of dollars from each of your individual clients. Could be 2, could be 5, could even be 10,000 a month, very realistically, and in a way where they're really going to like you, because you can really, really win for them big time with lots of keywords, and you can add in related things like I mentioned with taking advantage of paid ads and YouTube in a way where it's really low-hanging fruit once you have Google on lockdown because of what Greg and Dan and Joe have for Google, and the massive research that they do and that Greg spearheads. Then you're in incredible shape. So it's a really exciting time. It's going to be really exciting for you guys listening and to participate in. And there's even more. A lot of people are, for good reason, myself included, love the idea of affiliate websites and marketing, right? And it actually goes, once again, it goes so hand in hand with consulting. If you have your affiliate sites, it gives you, if you're doing consulting, or either way, either place that you start with affiliate or consulting, you know nearly all of what you need to know for the other, and each one helps the other. Like if you're doing consulting, then having an affiliate site is going to add to your income. It's going to take advantage of the knowledge and the skills you already have in order to get free traffic to it, which is amazing for an affiliate site. If you're not paying for traffic, then it's just all upside. And then it's going to give you confidence and proof, even more proof, when talking to potential clients, and more experience. So you can do an even better job for your clients based on what you're doing with your affiliate sites. So it all kind of starts with the foundation of agency and Google SEO, and then there's a number of things that are very low-hanging fruit that we also do, and it's all in Traffic Tsunami. So let's start with Greg. Greg Morris and I have worked with for over 8 years, right? We had our previous program that I wanted to end on a very high note, right? It's called OMG. Fusion's on that website, OMG Machines. So they're an extraordinarily successful program. But kind of like with an athlete, right? You want to kind of go out on a high note, and I wanted to do something fresh and new for 2020, something exciting, something tailored just for what we know now and based on all our experience. That was, again, started with a kind of a blank palette, a blank slate. And what's come out of it has been amazing, right? With Traffic Tsunami, Sales Machine coming up, and Fusion. Greg has been a cornerstone in a way that's very unique with the massive amount of research that he does. And he does the work, he puts in the effort, and he puts in the money, and he has, he's made over 1,000 websites. And now he has some extremely exciting news to share with affiliate websites that he has, where it's forcing him to do an even different, additional type of research that you're going to benefit from regarding Google SEO and more. So Greg has created what's called the SEO Bible, which is his step-by-step, fully comprehensive training, and that's in Traffic Tsunami. He'll talk about that, and he has incredible news, mind-breaking news with what he's been doing with affiliate websites based on Google SEO as well. So let me turn it over to Greg, and Greg can talk about what he has for you guys.
All right, cool. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah. I hear you great.
All right, let me take the screen here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me know if you can see me okay.
We can.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so first what I'm going to talk about is the SEO Bible and kind of, how this can help you. The SEO Bible really takes you much deeper into understanding SEO, and I'll just kind of go off these slides here, then I'll sum it up. So the SEO Bible contains in-depth on-page SEO. For example, we go over the 5 rules of on-page, which you guys get in Fusion, and I go over that again in different ways. I cover content, of course, plugins and keyword research, all which I cover in Fusion. I just kind of go over it again in the SEO Bible because it is very important. So then I start going to why what we do works and how Google reads data, which is what I call reverse sink or swim. Now, this is really important to understand. Some people may say, well, I don't care why it's working or how Google reads the data. I don't care. I just want it to happen. But the thing is, if you understand that, then when you go and you get links, you know how to properly get them. Like what to tell the person you're getting links from to put in your links. That way you know how Google reads the data, you know what they want, and you can give them what they want. Okay, so I cover all that. I cover how to implement that correctly. So I'll go over examples and I'll show you how to do all this stuff correctly. How to use anchor text, which is a big thing. And anchor text is basically the link that is clickable when you get a link. Okay, so if you get a link on someone else's website and it says click here, that anchor text is click here. The thing with anchor text is you want to have a certain split up. You don't want to have a whole bunch of money keyword anchor text, and there's not like a set percentage you want, but there's definitely things you want to be careful of, and there's a specific method I have for anchor text that I follow, and I teach that as well. I have the WAINR series in there, so that's why am I not ranking. Now this gets more advanced, but this can be very useful when, especially when you get a client or something like that, or you have an older website that's not ranking as well. And I take you through a step of things that you can do to fix the website's ranking. So, sometimes I'll get a client and they'll be, they're like, I've been stuck on page 3 for, a year or 2 years, and I just can't move. And I'm like, well, let me go through my list and check off these things. And usually when I go through these things and I go through the WAINR, what I call it, why am I not ranking series, I'm able to get their website back up, within 6 months or whatever the case is, year, whatever. It depends on what's wrong with their website. So this starts coming into handy when you have clients who have done SEO before, or some type of reputation management type thing, or anything like that. This can really come in handy. And then the last thing from this is how to reverse engineer the competition. This is huge because we know this right here. We know what works and how Google reads data. We can really take over right here, because a lot of people know how to reverse engineer competition. I mean, you look at where they're getting links, and you've got to try to get links from the same place. But if you understand this part right here, then doing this right here is so powerful, because you can do everything they're doing right and only take that part of it. Okay, many people just don't understand how Google reads data and what really works. So when they go do this, they just try to do everything their competition's doing. Well, what I do is I go look at all my competition on the first page. I take all the things each one of them is doing correctly. That way, if number 1 has 100 links and 10 of their links are really good, I'll take those 10 links. I'll go to number 2. If they have 50 links and 25 of them are really good, I'll do those 25 links. So I kind of teach you not just how to reverse engineer competition, but how to take what they're doing best and use it for yourself, and only use that. Because if you use things that Google doesn't like as much, it can actually send you the other way. More links isn't better. The right links is best. And what we do is we go and we take the best links from each competitor, then we have a compilation of all the best links from each competitor. All right, so the SEO Bible just goes much more in depth on SEO, what's working, and how to get through it all. And although it's advanced, I take it pretty step by step, and I think anyone can follow along and implement that correctly. So the other part of my training in Traffic Tsunami is the PBN training. So I cover things like, and I'll cover exactly what a PBN is in just a second here. So everything you need to know about PBNs, tools for buying PBNs and how to buy PBNs, understanding the metrics and pricing, my 5-stage PBN research model, hosting PBNs and PBN setup, penalty checks, and how to make the most out of PBNs. Now, a lot of you may say, what the heck is a PBN, right? So a PBN stands for a private blog network. Now, the best way I can explain this to a beginner is it's a very powerful link, okay? It's a little more risky, but there's a lot of power there, and if you do it correctly, it's very beneficial. Oftentimes, I'll set up a PBN, and I'll have a client comes in, he has a lot of things he's doing right. I'll send one PBN link, and bam, he shoots right up, okay? The difference between a PBN link and a lot of other links you get is the power source. So think of it like this, right? So links are basically like a system of credibility. So, one of my favorite singers is Stevie Nicks. Okay, so if I have a music related product and Stevie Nicks recommends my music product, well, that's going to do a lot for me, right? That's kind of what a PBN is. A PBN is like a really good power source. Whereas other types of links, maybe Stevie Nicks, manager recommends something. Yeah, Stevie Nicks manager, that's a good recommendation. That's going to help me, right? That's, that's a connected person. I deal with music. It's a good recommendation, but it's nothing like what Stevie Nicks herself is going to do for me. It's the same thing here. If you get a link from a music site on the home page, that home page is the main source of power. If you get a link on the inner page, yeah, it's still a link from a music related website, but it's an inner page that's not as powerful, not as credible, because there's not as much power going to it. A PBN is basically, it allows you to get the power directly from the main source, and you get a very powerful link. But I know it sounds a little confusing. This whole training series will take you through everything step by step, and it makes it very easy, okay? And you don't need PBNs. It's a little more advanced, but I have it there for anyone that gets to the next level, kind of. All right, so now number 4 is where I start going into the affiliate OTS, and this is, I've been teaching for about 8 years. This is probably my most proud training I've ever had. I really put a lot of time into this. So let me first define what affiliate marketing is, and why it's like kind of the dream of many. So affiliate marketing is when you sell other people's products and you get a percentage. And the beauty of it is you don't need to do anything but make the sale. Okay, once you make the sale, you have nothing to worry about. You don't got to ship products, you don't got to deal with support, you don't got to deal with unhappy customers, you just collect your money. And affiliate, what I think of, like when people think and they think of making money online and making money while I sleep, that is affiliate SEO for me, or not affiliate SEO, but affiliate marketing. Because when you have an affiliate site in place that's making money, the way we do SEO, once it's ranking, it's kind of automatically making money for you. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I've had a site since 2015 now that has been making at least $10,000 a month for 4 years, and I put about an hour into it a year, maybe an hour or two, just like updating some titles here and there, maybe sending a link or two at the most. So in the past 4 years, I've probably put up maybe 3-4 hours into the site, and it's made, I don't know, a few $100,000. That's the type of thing that people dream about, right? They dream about, I want to make money in my sleep. I want to be able to go on vacation, make money while I'm on vacation. That's
Greg,
affiliate marketing.
It's funny, if you're paying for ads, which is what most people do when they try to do affiliate marketing, you can lose money in your sleep. I'm not saying it's not worth it sometimes, but you better get it right, and you can easily be losing money in your sleep, right?
That's right.
The reason we love Google SEO is you put some focus into doing it, but then, as you say, you take for granted that you make money in your sleep. You can't lose it.
That's right. And if you're doing paid ads, that's a good point. When you're doing paid ads, you're constantly monitoring your ads, right? Not only are you spending money on the ads, but you got to constantly log in, monitor them, track conversions, all that. When it comes to SEO, once you're ranking, especially the way we do it, and you kind of rank and stay there, you don't have to do anything. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The
paid
downside of SEO,
what's amazing.
What's that?
Paid ads are totally valid.
100%.
But my goodness, it's just insane. It's a whole new world when you do Google SEO.
Yeah, so the downside of SEO is it just takes longer, right? Like with paid ads, you can get that traffic immediately, and I encourage you to do that as well if you know how to do it. But for me, I enjoy SEO, and it's just what I'm very good at, and I don't mind waiting. I don't mind that short period of time of wait to benefit long term more.
When you know you're going to win, you always win because of your experience and knowledge. When you know you're going to win, you can wait a little while and just know that it's an incredible win once it happens. Love it.
Yeah. So the SEO just takes longer. Paid ads, you can do it. You can get it immediately, but you have to spend money consistently, constantly. You have to always monitor them, kind of play around with conversions and all that. So there's an up down there. It just depends on what you like. So that's what affiliate marketing is. I can even give you an example here. So if you do something like Best Electronic Cigarette, I was in this niche for a long time. I've done probably tens of millions of dollars in sales in this niche. And we'll go to this top ranked site here. So these guys are affiliate marketers, okay? Any link that I click on this site, they're gonna get commission for. So, sorry, I lost where I was because of the scroll bar. So for example, they're recommending the MiG-21 here, right? So if I say, hey, I really like this, it's got a high rating. Oh, I like these features. If I go click on view site, I just clicked on a link that tracks their affiliate code to them. Okay, so now if I make any purchase here, the person who owns this site right here, they'll get credit for that purchase. And it's all set up through what's called an affiliate link. So they sign up for MiG-21's affiliate program. They're given a special link. They put that link on their website. Then when someone follows that link, it puts what's called a cookie on the website. It goes through a cookie. I don't know the exact terminology of how you would say that properly, but a cookie is placed where they know that this person sent them. Then any purchase they make a commission off it. And the thing is, like I said before, nothing else has to be done on these guys' part. They take care of everything else. So that's the beauty of affiliate. All right. So let me go back here. So what I did is I created my first over-the-shoulder affiliate site, building from the beginning. So currently it's 15 hours and growing. So it's 15 hours of content. And that I took it all the way from the beginning so the complete beginner could follow me from beginning to end. So, from me picking the domain, the day I picked the domain name and started the website, all on camera. I went over like what to consider, how to plan the site, me putting up on hosting and what host I used, how I set up WordPress and how I connected everything, all the basic stuff I have on video. All my keyword research, the content planning, the article templates, how to order articles, how to post articles to the site. Again, some of this kind of beginner, but I went over it just to make sure that everyone could follow along, even if you're a complete beginner.
And guys, let me hop in here for a second. Greg Morrison actually pioneered this type of training because it's really hard to do and you'll almost never see it. Almost all the time when you're getting training, there's somebody that had a success and then they make videos talking about the success that they had. And often they add a bunch of theory and they kind of change it, to kind of give a best fit story of what happened and so forth. What Greg is talking about is, of course, he has his comprehensive training, like with the SEO Bible and so forth. But with this over the shoulder from affiliate, it's unheard of. He's actually filmed every minute he's spent building a particular affiliate site that is making money and that's getting traffic and it's growing. This isn't him talking about it after the fact. He started filming before, like as it was getting built on day one, and he's captured every hour. He also hasn't done a whole bunch of stuff off camera to kind of cheat a little bit and to goose it up or whatever. He's showing you everything he's done. So it's incredible for learning for you, but it's also incredible for belief, right? Like one of the issues we all have as entrepreneurs is we want to be spending our time on something that works, and realistically we just don't know what's really going to work. So we don't know who to really trust or where to really put our efforts and some money, right? Like there's always something going on. Even if you're registering a domain or whatever, there's fees and there's money you're putting in when you're an entrepreneur. The over the shoulder creates a whole new experience for you where you're seeing it in a way that you don't have to wonder whether to believe it. It's all real right there in front of you. It's a little bit like Google ranking itself. When you rank something on Google, it's there. You can type in the keyword and see your website come up. It's very differently real than most of the things that people claim, to do or say, oh yeah, I've done this, or I've made this money, or I've sold this much stuff. You can't see that for sure. If someone ranks on Google, you can type it in yourself and see it for real. Over the shoulder, same thing. Very different type of reality, and that's just beyond powerful. And it takes some serious balls and ability to be able to do something like that. But Greg's actually done that for you. This isn't a beyond blockbuster. When Greg first told me about this, which is fairly recently, Traffic Tsunami was fully built and absolutely beyond worth its value or its price before Greg dropped this. When he told me about this, I strongly considered making just this affiliate over the shoulder, along with some webinars or consulting or something with Greg, meetings with Greg, a $10,000 mastermind just based on this. It's valuable beyond belief. And his affiliate sites are very profitable. But we still decided to put it inside of Traffic Tsunami. So I just wanted to explain all that to people.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah, so to continue the affiliate OTS, what's in there, I do all my link planning and my strategies, of course, reverse engineering the competition, and there's a couple hours of content on that alone, some ninja tricks I use, site design, changes and updates, all my link spreadsheets and logs, affiliate program research and signups, because that can be confusing sometimes. People don't even know how to get into affiliate programs sometimes or how to get an affiliate link. I cover all that type of stuff. So
really, there's a lot of dead ends with that you've run into over the years that you've learned from. It seems like it's easy, but it's not. You could totally.
What's funny is there's a lot of dead ends and over the shoulder. Like I went back and forth with one of these, one of my main affiliate sources for like a month trying to get them to let me join. And I kind of cover all that and show people how you kind of stay on top of that and actually finally get in. So yeah, it's not as easy.
5 years ago, you ranked a site for an amazingly difficult keyword. You ranked #1 in the health field, and you had the affiliate site, you're making money, and then there was this obscure terms of service because it was technically a network marketing, multi-level marketing company, and and so forth. So yeah, there's all kinds of pitfalls that Greg will help you see how to avoid.
Definitely. And then of course we're monetizing the site with both leads and sales. So that means I'll get paid when someone signs up for a particular service. Maybe I'll get $10 if someone signs up, right? And that means like a free membership with a person. Then if that person buys a membership, I'll get paid per sale. So I show you both a CPL model, which is cost per lead, and also CPA, or cost per action, which is pretty much cost per sale for that. Both can be considered CPA though. And then of course, constant linking updates, ranking, and income updates as the site progresses. So if you're someone who's interested in that kind of dream model of making money in your sleep, I mean, this is the dream. And as David said, we almost didn't put this in. I wasn't sure I wanted to release this. That wasn't a marketing ploy. I really had to think hard if I wanted to do this. And to be honest with you, the reason I did is because of all the OMGers that over the years have been with me and kind of they've been sharing their sites with me, having me analyze them. That's all sharpened my SEO and kind of got me to where I am today. I wouldn't have a quarter of the sites I have if it wasn't for OMG, for what the past teaching and all that. So I think I owe it to our students. And if you're not one of our current students, I guess you got a little lucky because you would have never been seeing this. I probably wouldn't have released it. I was a little nervous releasing it, but now I'm kind of happy. I think it's going to get people in that kind of dream scenario a lot of people think of when they're making money in their sleep. And this is the true way that people do it, because there's a lot of ways to make money online, but making money in your sleep, like doing no work at all, this is what it is. And this is an over the shoulder series showing you exactly how I'm doing it. And I expect this site to make at least $5,000 a month in profit, generating without me having to do anything. All right, so that's the plan for this. That's prediction. It could do a lot more than that. I don't know. It could do less, but I think it'll do a lot more. And that's have it all in video. I'm excited for you guys to see it.
That's incredible, Greg, and thank you once again for putting that final piece, the whole affiliate over the shoulder series inside of Traffic Tsunami.
David, can I add something?
Sure, Joe.
Robert Jacobson just said, passive income. That's totally awesome.
Yeah.
And one thing that's amazing about this, like my own experience, I started in about 2009 with agency work, but then in 2013, I left for Costa Rica for a year. And part of the reason I was able to do that was because of affiliate marketing and that passive income that's coming in. And two is, if you think about it, like even what Greg said, like $5,000 a month, if you wanted to go out and get real estate that brought you in a cash flow positive in your pocket of $5,000 a month, you're going to have to spend a lot of money, right? Like a couple $1 million or $1 million. And then you have to deal with tenants and a lot of other stuff. Where with this, it's like you put up some sites and you're making money that's going right in your bank account every day. And the best part about it is this fits right in with everything we're learning in Fusion and an agency, because that's how I did it, right? I had my agency, I learned the system, they did all the stuff, and I was able to do also affiliate marketing, which has brought in passive income day after day, and I'm still getting paid from stuff I did back in 2012.
Yeah, and the two are definitely not mutually exclusive, because you can have your agency like we do, and you can build your side affiliate sites as a side project. Put an hour or two a week going over Greg's OTS. Like I plan on doing this for a couple of affiliate sites that I kind of let sit by the wayside, but I know they have huge potential. I just kind of got bored of them. But now that Greg's got his OTS, I am legit just going to go through his videos, and it should be actually an awesome case study if I reveal the site at some point. I mean, it already is making a little bit of money, so it has a good start.
A little bit less boring to make $5,000 a month, no matter what.
Yeah.
Wonderful, excellent. And what Greg was saying about he did it to appreciate the OMGers. Greg's been, again, delivering for real based on his own research that he's put so much work into for so many years now, that there's a community, that follows him, and they just appreciate it so much. And it's a great feedback loop. And of course, you guys as Fusion members are also now part of that. By the way, I said early in the webinar, but there's a number of people that hopped on after, I believe. A number of people have asked for a Facebook group. Let us know in the question box if you're excited about the idea of having a Fusion members only Facebook group.
I know a few people showed a lot of excitement in the question box for that.
Okay,
yeah,
excellent.
Yes, is coming in.
So let us know. We'll see what we can do later in the webinar for that. All right, let's go. Trying to think, I feel like I had one other thought, but I could think, no, I think it was just that Facebook group. Okay, so Joe, let's go over to you. Joe, had his own agency years ago, and still. Then he came across Greg and learned from him, and it really was a great um, back and forth where Joe really benefited, and of course Greg's benefited as well, as he got to know Joe, and they've learned from each other. One of the things that Joe loved when he saw Greg doing it was these over-the-shoulder series, right, that Greg pioneered. And so Joe has really developed a passion for that. He's been coaching for years based on his incredible experience with agency and real life business and so forth. Joe's also become an incredible all-star with YouTube consulting, where he actually commands well over 5,000, 6, 7, and $10,000, somewhere different clients, different amounts, but in that range, up to $10,000, which even that could get pushed and grow, but per client with what he does with YouTube. Do you have to go to $10,000 yourself per client? You can with what Joe's going to show you, or you can add on. You have your $595 client, your $995 client. You can scale up with the SEO that Greg will show you. You can scale up with what Dan will be talking about later. But also YouTube is a great synergy. And you can add an extra $1,000 onto what a client's getting you, or you can add thousands of dollars depending on how far you want to take it. And then also, again, Joe has a passion for over the shoulder, and he's going to talk about that as well. So take it away, Joe. What do you got
Yeah,
first?
David. Yeah, thanks. You guys, can you see my slides on there?
Sure can.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the question I have for you guys, and just put it in the question box. If I told you guys that Dan, Greg, and myself are going to go out, we're going to start an agency, and we're going to invite you along so you could come in our office every day, you could see what we're doing, you could see the systems we're using, how we get clients, everything we do, would you guys be interested in doing that? Just let me know, put a yes in the question box, and let me know, because I want to make sure you guys are paying attention for this part.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Coming in hot.
Got a lot of yeses there, I think, right? Well, like David was saying, is we're going to do that for you guys. It's going to obviously be virtual, but Dan and Greg, myself, we started an agency called Chimera Media. You saw a little bit of this inside of Fusion when I was showing you some agency setup. But what our goal is by the end of the year, right, our goal is to be at $1 million in revenue a year, right, through different methods that we're going to be picking up clients. I'm going to be showing you some of the stuff that we're going to be doing here in the slides that I have, right? But, in Fusion, it's, you guys got your feet wet, showed you how to get your first client. So this next step is really showing you how to take what you learned in Fusion, and scaling up your business. So let me just
right before the weekend, Joe, I know something happened with your agency.
Yeah, so I have that actually my slide right here, right?
Okay, excellent. I look forward to hearing that.
Well, so what we've been doing is when we were thinking about Traffic Tsunami, and after we completed Fusion, we were thinking like, what would be really awesome for people that took Fusion, like to take them to the next level. And I love these over the shoulder, and and that's how I learned, from Greg when back in, it's gotta be like 2011. Greg was teaching SEO, and I knew some SEO, and I took some courses. But when Greg did his over the shoulder, when he says, listen guys, I'm going to take this domain and I'm going to rank it, and I'm going to show you every single step, right, that I'm going to do, it really changed the game for me. Because like someone could show you, okay, here's the domain, here's some links, and here's this, and they're strategies, but they're all disconnected. But when someone shows you something from A to Z and shows you how they do it, then there's dots that are connected, right, that you're going to see that you would never known was disconnected. And sometimes just some little connection that you figure out by seeing someone do the whole process, makes something click for you. And we've been doing over the shoulders in OMG for years now. I'm going to talk about a huge one that we did in a minute. But so getting back to the agency, is we wanted to do something that would be like just something that would just walk you guys through, from where you're at now all the way to the end where we want to be next year, and that's an over the shoulder. So we started looking for a client that we can get that would allow us to record everything we're going to do as we fulfill them. And we got one, and we just closed him. Me and Dan closed him this week. It was Thursday. And right now he's at $7,500 a month. And we actually recorded our initial conversation with him.
And that's what he's paying you guys, just to be clear. That's not the size of the client's business. That's what they're paying Dan, Greg, and Joe.
Right. And he's a big.
This is what we mean by scaling up. You don't only have to get $595 or $995 from your clients. It's an incredible foot in the door technique in Fusion, but boy, can you get a lot, and in a way where everyone wins.
Yeah, and it's a they're a very big company, right? They're a very big company. If you guys get in Traffic Tsunami, you'll obviously see who they are. And here's the interesting thing, David, about that whole interaction. As me and Dan were talking to him, one of the things he wanted to do was he wanted me to meet with his current SEO team, and they were going over their plan for next year. And in the Fusion webinar, when Michael and Eric talk about dirty dinosaurs, these guys are the epitome of the dirty dinosaur. They were just giving them a lot of old and outdated SEO techniques, and it was very easy for me to come in and totally just dismantle what they were saying and show them results and get the deal. And because the stuff that you learn in OMG is people just don't have out there, and it gives you such a competitive advantage. And like even Greg's SEO Bible, like once you go through that, nobody's going to be able to compete, not even the big agencies. And it's wide open. Like when you see this client, you might think, oh, you guys got that client because you've been doing this for years. No, that's not it. These clients out there that are big are not being serviced correctly. And I'll show you exactly how I got this client. And I'll show you, and I'll walk you through everything that we do with him. So you see over the shoulder everything we're doing, the recordings. You're going to see everything, the good and the bad, and we're also going to give you our systems and processes that we're using in this agency. I know a lot of people in Fusion really loved Dan's process, the processes they had and the systems and the ClickUp they showed. Well, take that and put it on steroids, and that's what's going to be inside of Traffic Tsunami. You're going to get all the things, all the pieces that we're using to run our agency. You're going to be able to see it, and you're going to be able to get a lot of those things. And the other thing I want to talk about is precision mold removal. What this is this is an over the shoulder that me and Greg started about 2 years ago. And what it was is we were actually doing like a promotion webinar, or I don't know what it was, or a training webinar. And I was trying to demonstrate how to build a website that ranked in multiple cities. And I just put a website together really quick. I showed people the structure. I think we did a couple of links and started ranking. And then I thought, hey, what if we did an over the shoulder showing like from the very beginning of this site, telling people, hey, we're going to take this site and we're going to rank it in every major city in the United States. And we walk people through the whole process and show them A to Z, right? And that's what we did. And here's the thing, here's the site right now, but like here's just a few cities, right? Here's San Diego, we're number 1. Here's Los Angeles, we're number 1. Here's Dallas, right? We're number 1. Here's Houston, we're right here. We're number 2, but we're right up here, number 1, right under Yelp, right? Same thing with Hollywood, California, right? So like if you go through it, we're already ranking everywhere.
And guys, listen, because Joe's going to show you, this wasn't Joe bragging. This is Joe showing you something that you're going to be able to use as a Traffic Tsunami member to close clients in a moment.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, guys, this over the shoulder is inside Traffic Tsunami, but I want to see, hold on a second. So just to show you guys, like when we started the series, right, this is the actual website that we started with. It was like, we didn't start with this beautiful website. We started with this, just a plain old WordPress site. And then through the whole process, we showed you how to get all the way to here and get the ranking. So this is something that we're putting in Traffic Tsunami. Now, you might say, okay, this was something you guys did. You started 2 years ago, all right, are you done with it? Is it over? No, it's not over, because as part of that $1 million agency, what we're going to be also showing you is how to get to the next level. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking precision mold removal, will be part of it, but we're going to be niching up on some of the clients that we're going to be going after, and we're going to really be looking at, going after restoration clients. We're going to show you how that we do that. We're going to show you how we're going to prospect, how we're going to connect with them, how we're going to close them. Dan's going to be talking about the ads portion of it. Not only doing ads like Google ads and Facebook ads for your client, but also how we're going to use those ads to get clients, and some do-it-yourself training that we are going to give you, that you're going to be able to give to your clients. And again, all the systems and processes for fulfilling this type of service. So it's like these restoration clients will be between 2,000 and 4,000. Right? So like in Inside Fusion, we're at 500 to 1,000. In this whole $1 million over the shoulder, we're going to show you how to take that from 1,000. You'll be able to do 2,000, 4,000, 7,000, 10,000 dollar clients and up from there, and you'll be able to watch as we do it.
And
so
let me just something you said, I just want to hop in real fast. These like a $7,000 client, when you say that, it's the same client that could have been a $595 client if you didn't know what they're going to show you in Traffic Tsunami. It's not like there's clients that just sit out there at 7,000. Most clients do sit out there starting at 600 or maybe 1,000. But then you build them up, or they have the budget when they see you're competent. If that makes any sense. Like a client isn't inherently a $7,000 or $1,000 client. It's based on what you know and what you can do for them, and they become that.
Exactly, David. If you think about like stacking even, right? Like this client would have been, it's like we're at $7,500 a month with him, but that's not what we're going to end with him. We're hoping to be much more than that, because we have the SEO that we pitch him. Then it's the YouTube. And then once we get that and we show success with that, we'll start talking to him about doing his ads for him and other things. So it's like one client, you could stack a lot of these services if you're a full service agency and be doing really, really well with them. Not to mention, a lot of clients, like for YouTube alone, are at $10,000 a pop. And then that takes me to the YouTube agency. And so like I've been doing YouTube for like 10 years right now, and I have my own YouTube agency, and not a lot of people are offering YouTube to clients. And there's a lot of big clients out there, a lot of big brands that need YouTube. Now I'm not talking about your local plumber. Like we show you how to handle them and give them YouTube, and that's great. But there are huge brands out there that, again, have no idea how to get traffic from YouTube. And the YouTube agency that I have, my minimum charge for a client to consult with me for, like a monthly consultation is 10 grand. I have a workbook that I sell them for 5 grand that I'm going to be giving you guys, inside Traffic Tsunami. I'm going to be walking you through my whole process of how I get clients, the proposal I give them, which is a special proposal. That's about 15 pages. I'm going to give you that proposal. I'm going to talk about the call that I have with them, the fulfillment, everything that you need to fulfill on these clients, right? And that takes me to, so the agency, you might be thinking like, okay, it's a YouTube agency, great, but I don't know anything about YouTube, or I don't know that much about YouTube. How am I going to fulfill on it? Let me move this slide up here. Well, we have a training, I have a training about becoming a YouTube expert, right? And it's actually a training designed to take you through 30 days of YouTube training. Inside that training, you get this workbook that we created last year. And this isn't just your average type of training. What's designed is to, when you get in, right, we teach you how to build a foundation, a YouTube foundation. And then from there, we teach you how to pick titles, thumbnails, create videos, edit your videos. And inside this training, it's not only me teaching it. I went out and I found some of the biggest experts in their field. So like, for example, thumbnails. I have two people who are known in the industry to do some of the best thumbnails. One is Jeremy Vest, and he's been talked about a lot. If you'll probably know him if you know YouTube. He came on and did a whole hour training on just how to create thumbnails. Then the guy that creates the thumbnails for me, for my agency, see, inside my agency, I don't even do the thumbnails. I outsource them to a company, and he came on and, he went through how he creates thumbnails. And if you guys want to use them, you'll have access to him also. He does thumbnails for some of the biggest YouTubers like Dara Leaves, Tim Schmoyer, some of the bigger guys use him to create their thumbnails. He's doing the training in here. Also editing your videos, right? Creating and editing videos. One of my clients that I have is Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, right? We do his YouTube channel. Well, his video guy, the guy who edits his videos and his videos ads, is a friend of mine. And he came in and he did all the training on editing videos. That's in here also. So this training is designed for when you get in. If you follow the training, it's a 30-day training. You can take longer if you want, but it's designed with a workbook. So after each video, there's things that you have to fill out, to help you progress on, and make sure the things that are being taught sink in. By the end of this series, you're going to be able to go out and know more than 90% of the people on YouTube, right? No. Even the people posting on YouTube won't know a lot of the stuff that I'm teaching you in this series. So that ties into the YouTube agency. And then the last slide I have here is outsourcing and systems. And I know, like, being on the support desk, a lot of people have been sending in tickets about furthering and expanding the training that's been done on systems. Well, in here, along with all the systems and SOPs and training that's in the over the shoulder, in this series, we're going to show you how to outsource everything, where to find the best outsourcers, how to train them, how to pay them, how to track them. You get my templates for web designers, videographers, writers, and VAs. There's certain templates I use when I go onto these freelancer sites to get the best candidates. I give you my SOPs, which is the standard called a standard operating procedure. But what it basically is, it's specialized. It's a training, right? So when we work with outsourcers, if I have a task that I have to do more than 3 times, I want to build a system for it, and I want to have someone else doing that for me. You can get someone to do that for you for about $2 to $4 an hour, right? So I show you not only how to find those people, but what you want to do is you have to be able to communicate with them and give them something that they can follow, like a system that's going to be a no-brainer, and to make sure that they actually do the job correctly. An SOP is, like, say I'm doing Google My Business and I want someone to tag the videos for me. So what I would do is I would shoot a video showing myself do the whole process, and then I would break it down step by step with screenshots and little descriptions, steps underneath the screenshots that I would give the outsource, and they would check off each step as they complete it. So what I do in here is I show you how to create those, but I also give you the ones that I have, right? So that when you get an outsourcer, you already have one that you don't even have to make. And I give you some of the videos that I use to train my outsourcers. They're made in such a way that you can use them for your outsourcers if you want. And my templates and gigs and all the other stuff. So David, I know that was pretty much a mouthful.
No, that's just incredible. I'm You guys have showed so much. I'm actually going to show people how to join Traffic Tsunami, and then we'll circle around to Dan. Based on what we've talked about, Greg talked about his SEO Bible, which in and of itself, that shows you how to constantly win on Google, which is priceless, to say the least, right? With the SEO Bible alone, you could assuredly take your $1,000 client and get 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever thousand from them, just with that. If you take one client from 1,000 to 3,000, right, that's 2,000 a month extra. That's 24,000 in a year. Then there's Greg's over-the-shoulder affiliate. And there's other training from Greg, but with the PBNs, but that kind of goes together with the SEO Bible. The over-the-shoulder with affiliate, easily a $10,000 mastermind just based on that. Then we have Joe and the three, and Joe, Dan, and Greg doing this over-the-shoulder with an actual client, and probably showing some work they're doing on other clients as well, but showing you behind the scenes and step by step with their agency they have together, right? And then you have Joe with his YouTube training, which again, showing you how he gets and how he services $10,000 a month YouTube clients. $10,000 a month is, of course, $120,000 a year. So at this point, if you could somehow afford it, well, let me ask this first in the question box. Would this be worth $100,000, at least in terms of the return that you would get? Would you get many times that return if you could start there? Then let me ask you this: if it cost $10,000 and there was a payment plan so good that you could afford it, from what you've heard from Greg and Joe, is it worth that to you? I'm curious in the question box.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of yeses here.
Yeah.
Some yes, some exclamation points. Yes, yes.
That's nice. Yeah. So good. Okay, so we're making sense here, right? Because it would either be we hadn't explained what was in here at all, or or people are going to say yes. Okay. The URL I'm going to. Let me grab the screen actually here. Sharing. Okay. Am I showing my screen here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. So at Traffic Tsunami, could be a little hard to spell. I'll put it in the chat. TrafficTsunami.com/join. I'm going to put it in the global chat here. All right, I just sent that to everybody. You'll have it in your chat. If we look at this here, you can read this yourself. I'll just start with the headline though. Fusion that you're in got your foot in the door. And now it's time to let us help you scale up, way up. And this is exclusive Traffic Tsunami. You can only get to it through Fusion. All right, so it's a bonus to be able to get this as a Fusion member. I say because it's time for around $5,000 to become the new normal per day or month on affiliate sites. But Greg kind of undersold things there. He has another affiliate site where using the same exact tactics he's showing you, where he thinks it'll be very possibly a no-brainer to get there over time, and not that long a time. So think per day on one or more affiliate sites combined, and per month from individual clients. And again, I'm kind of giving you a median term there because 10,000, 7,500, and so forth is totally real and being shown to you in this training. So we've talked about what they're revealing. There's going to be webinars once per week. Greg's going to do every other week, answering all questions you guys have to about his training, SEO mastery, and the affiliate over the shoulder he's revealing in there. And then every other week will be Dan and Joe together teaching and answering questions, at least answering all your questions that you have, and then any updates and training that they have for you. We haven't even talked about, I'll circle back around to Greg to explain this after Dan, but you're going to get an upgraded feature from the quality guest post from Kosta that's part of Fusion. All that's coming, by the way, in very early January into Fusion, and then also Traffic Tsunami. But Traffic Tsunami is going to have an additional feature of that's going to be available to you. That's going to empower your SEO. You're going to get more bang per buck with that feature. We talked about, we'll get to the features that like we talked about in the webinar, so I'm going to scroll past that. Okay, so the price, Traffic Tsunami shows you how to command thousands of dollars per month extra from each of your clients in a way that they'll love. The clients will, it's also a win-win-win, where your clients will like you more. And you're going to be making them more money, they'll make you more money. Traffic Tsunami is not $10,000. It adds up to around $5,000, but we have an extremely affordable extra extended payment plan. It's actually the only payment option. We want to do it this way because it's how we deliver. We don't even want you to pay all at once, right? We want you to know that we're going to be there. We can only offer this extended payment plan if we delivered what we said, right? Because otherwise you could just cancel if you felt like we weren't being like delivering what we said we would. We do give a ton up front. So once again, just like with Fusion, we ask that you don't treat this extended payment plan as a subscription, because some of the content will come out over time, but there's also a ton up front that you get. So we're not withholding much from you in the beginning. We're giving you all you need to win early on, right? With Greg's entire SEO Bible training, for example, and a ton of Joe's YouTube training and so forth, and Dan's systems that he's showing you that he uses that he'll get to. So for $299, you can get in. I've actually done a sort of clever thing with Fusion, the price of Fusion, $99 a month, with Traffic Tsunami, and then Sales Machine is going to come out, helping you make sure that you can get your clients, right, and sell them. That's going to be, I believe we're going to release that on the 30th of December in about 2 weeks, all right? All of those combined with our payment, with the extended payment plans we have for each of them, are going to be like the same price as what you'll take in from like a one low end client, $595, right about that, or certainly the profit you'll be making from a $995 client. So just one Fusion client can fully cover everything you pay for Sales Machine to make sure you're getting multiple clients and getting high dollar clients that will come out within 2 weeks. That's an extraordinary coaching program. And then Traffic Tsunami, which is beyond belief that we've been describing so far, and Fusion, all of them can be covered with one Fusion client. So it's extraordinarily affordable. All right, we've really spread it out over a lot of time. I want you guys to win. I don't want to, I want this to be a win-win. I want the money that you're paying into Fusion, Traffic Tsunami, Sales Machine to be easy for you and pay off dividends immediately, where you're coming out ahead by being a part of us, not where we're cleaning you out and then hopefully one day you'll make money. All right. And there's so much reality to this with the over the shoulder, with showing you exactly what we're doing in so many ways based on what we're currently doing, not something we did a year or two ago and we're kind of telling a story about how we did it, right? That's kind of a bit of a truth and a bit of a big fish story, or whatever that a lot of training courses end up being. But this is radically different. Has to be really, and I've been kind of the lead guy in designing these courses around SEO and helping people with agencies and so forth. Not in terms of the training, Greg and Joe and Dan's this is all time first revealing from Dan. But I have extensive experience with this, and this is my masterpiece here in terms of my role in it, and what I end up bringing you guys. I'm none of the talent, I'm not doing the training, but in terms of the overall design, I've never seen anything this good. And why shouldn't it be the best ever? Because it's based on past experience. From Greg, from myself, from Joe, and now we have Dan for the first time revealing his extraordinary systems that he'll be about to talk about. So who is really excited about the price of Traffic Tsunami and how it's structured? Let us know that also in the question box if you would. And then let us, Dan, you can grab the screen. We haven't even finished talking about what's in Traffic Tsunami. Dan is amazing. You know that because of Fusion. Dan has an agency with his brother, and now he has the agency as well with Joe and Greg and Dan, with himself, of course, a second separate business that they're looking to take to $1 million this year. He's over 6 figures a month with his brother. And well, you might wonder, how are they fulfilling all that on top of everything else? How are they doing it, but how are they fulfilling it? Well, it's because of the systems that Dan uses. He's shown you his systems for Fusion, but he has more to go scale up for the higher dollar clients, and he'll show you how it is that he's able to fulfill kind of by himself, essentially. And of course, that's using outsourcers, but by himself in the sense that it's not with a bunch of employees or partners.
Yeah,
Just-
thank you, David. Hey, oh,
Take it
go
away,
ahead,
Dave.
Joe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I can see your screen. Go ahead.
David, can I just say something real quick?
Of course.
Yeah, so I just want to say, like, when you ask people what they thought about the pricing, we just got a bunch of people that said, "Whew, thank goodness, I thought it was going to be too
I
much.
know.
I thought I could afford it. Great
Guys,
offer."
Guys, all the thing is, all of us, Greg, Joe, Dan, myself, we've been where you are big time. I was an entrepreneur out of college. First, I was pre-med. Then I did an internship with a doctor at the end of my second year. And I was like, wow, I really don't want to do this like I thought. And I got the entrepreneurial bug to my parents' chagrin. They were not very excited about that. It wasn't until the Bentley years and years later that they were like, oh, wow, okay.
Guess this worked out.
But what's that?
They were like, oh, I guess it worked out after all.
Yeah, there was a hilarious story where I got to where I was making $500,000 a year. This was many years ago. And my mom's response was hilarious. She was visiting and she was at dinner, and I said, I've actually gotten up to this point, Mom. And it's such a foreign world to her, you know. She was like, oh, that'll look great in your resume, Dave. That's what, like, she still couldn't wrap her head around. She hoped that being an entrepreneur was going to be something that I would, you know, get over, and it was a phase, and I would, you know. And but I don't know why, but the Bentley, which I got it used at the time. This is about 6 years ago. I actually just paid like $100,000 for it, which I'm not. That's not a humble brag. I just, for a Bentley, like for a car that impressive, $100,000 is not insane, right? And the $500,000 a year, she was still thinking that hopefully I would get over that and move on to a job. But something psychologically about the Bentley just kind of switched something for her, and she stopped saying that.
You know, what's funny, David, is sometimes
Yeah.
people they look at like the price, like, that's kind of a lot of money. And I think back to like my college days, and I like one of the first products I bought that found me success was your product. And at the time, I'd been through 3 years of college, and I think I spent like 10 grand a year on college, and that was in state. You know, people spend what, 30 grand a year on college out of state,
Easily.
and they,
Usually
you know,
it's
they
up to 50 now or more.
right. And then you get out of college, and your entrance, you know, average maybe is 50 grand a year, maybe. And then you have all that college debt. Well, I dropped out of college. I had, you know, 30 grand I'd already spent on college. I was making no money. I had no diploma yet, so it didn't do anything for me. I take a $500 course that I got from you, and I think within 6 months I was making like 5 grand a month. So, you know, although it looks like a lot of money, if you compare it to the normal quote unquote educational system, it's actually, you know, it can be quite a steep.
And it's why I love, as I said before, it's why I love Google SEO. It's why I love this over the shoulder, because it sounds too good to be true, of course. I mean, geez, it's so much better than college with the bang per buck, how long it takes to learn, how much it costs. But we show you, you know, the reality. But we've all been there. We all remember. We're all doing very well in life. We don't need to fatten our wallets on cleaning people out when they don't need that. You know, we want you to succeed. We've been doing this for many years in a way that it's so fun to see people get something they can afford, succeed, and be part of our community, right, and so forth. And you guys are in Fusion, you've seen, right? It's $99 a month, and you see what you're getting, right? And so that's the same way Traffic Tsunami is, where the price is incredibly structured so that you can succeed, and that, you know, we're going to deliver.
I think the secret is treating it like, not like just like training, but like this is a business. Like this is your future. You know what I mean? Like some people who don't succeed, I think they come in, they just look at it as like another training they go through, and they don't really look at it. They don't look at the big picture. Like, come in, don't just look at this as training, but look at this as like career building. Like, take this completely seriously, and it'll completely change your perspective and the way you approach it and your success.
It's the best thing you can invest in yourself.
Yeah,
you are investing in yourself. I so want you guys to be immersed, you guys listening, with Traffic Tsunami, with Sales Machine, with Fusion. You can create this total immersion where, you know, this can be your thing, and you can wake up thinking about it. You can have the reality, the training, the webinars to support that, and you just kind of get into it and just make it happen in a way that it's just so realistic to make happen. It's a different world with Google SEO agency, the affiliate now that Greg's showing you. You stick with it, and it just happens. You don't have to become a star. You don't have to have some miracle happen to you where it's a very small chance of success. So with all that said, but anyway, that's why we structure the payments the way we do. We really have been there, and we know what we could have afforded when we were starting out. We know what we would have believed when we were starting out, you know, and and we behave accordingly. Okay, Dan, take it away.
Yeah, so guys, just kind of getting and building upon Fusion, ads are something that I know a lot of you have been asking for, and even in the question box, I see people asking about ads. So what I'm doing is I'm going into a lot of retargeting and also just straight ads to cold audiences and building upon lookalike audiences, going right into in-depth keyword research. So let me just go through these. So Google Ads, formerly known as Google AdWords, just semantics, same exact thing, right? So I'm going through a pay-per-click OTS as an agency for real clients. Here's the problem I've always seen with these AdWord courses, and I've taken a bunch over the years, where they're showing kind of like hypothetical situations, or this is an ad I would create. No, I'm going to show you the ad that I do create and that we do create for our clients. I'm going to show you the keyword research that we go over. So I'm going to go over the best ways that I found for finding buyer keywords for your clients. So this is going to make you look like a superhero to your clients. And we talked about $5.95, $9.95. That's a great entry level price. Get them in the door, get the trust. We're providing results, SEO. All right, now we want to get more of their marketing budget. We want all of their marketing budget, really. So where do we go from there? PPC. It's going to get them quick wins, and it's going to get us, a budget that we could just charge a percentage of. So I show you what to charge, how we position ourselves in order to even offer this as a service. So it's going to be the exact blueprint for the optimal settings for setting successful campaigns on behalf of your clients. I show you how to do this in a way that's scalable, so you can be well organized. You can run multiple clients out of your AdWords account, and not have any confusion there. There's a really cool advanced location targeting way that we do that is going to allow you to target local areas for your clients the right way. A lot of people aren't doing this. Most people aren't doing this from what I've seen. And we're going to show reports to our clients and show them actual conversion data from clients that are calling from the website, right? We are going to show clicks to call from Google itself, call extensions, right? If this is all sounding Greek to you, don't worry about it. You're going to learn. And then we also have contact form submissions. So we have 3 big conversion reporting tools that we'll be able to show our client and say, look, you're spending X, you're getting Y. I need more of your marketing budget because we're getting results, right? That's the name of the game. And then along with that, we're going to do some smart remarketing. And when you combine PPC and SEO and the remarketing aspect to it, it all just kind of turns into a perfect storm of greatness in terms of what you're doing, because you're driving traffic to the website through SEO, and now you're driving all this new traffic through PPC. So even if those people aren't buying initially, you're getting them pixeled, which means they've come to your website and we've got them into Facebook and Google, and now we can be everywhere that they are. We can retarget to them, remarket to them. So if they've been to our site once, we're going to be in their face for quite some time. And there's a certain way we do that where we're going to show certain ads within maybe the first few days they see one ad, and then a few days later they see a different ad, right? So it's kind of like a remarketing funnel that we take them down that a lot of people don't get right. So we're going to do that the right way. That's just Google Ads. Facebook Ads is a very similar approach, but I'm going to show you again how to run these ads for your clients, how to do the proper targeting, not just the remarketing aspect of it. Ad copy that works. It's I have a few different templates that I like to use as my go-tos. So I'll show you exactly the ones that I use. Obviously feel free to test. I always test different things, images, videos, the copy itself, even emojis, right? So there's a lot of split testing that goes into it, but certainly there's a core template that you can start from and keep it really simple as well. I'm going to show lead ad funnels. If you don't know what that is, very simply, Facebook has an option. You may have seen it yourself if you're on your mobile device. It's one tap and it already has your name, your email pre-populated, and they submit it and it goes into a lead funnel. So I'm going to show you how to create those ads, put it into a CRM, and do a follow-up with that as well. We're going to do a lot more chatbot marketing. So we're going to do some chatbot ads. This is really good for remarketing because very often when someone isn't buying initially, it's because they have questions. So the chatbot can help facilitate that in an automated way, and then you can escalate it to a human if necessary. And then again, along with that, remarketing. I'm going to show you how to do the lookalike audiences so we can take a client's existing customer list if they do have one, and if not, it's fine. It's just going to take a little bit longer, but we'll build that lookalike audience. So if you're not familiar with that, essentially, Facebook has so much data that they can take a list of good buyers from you or your ideal essentially customer, and if you have enough of that data, they will then create a lookalike audience based on that and match it up, and you can start to get really good results that way as well. I don't have it on here, but we're going to do something called a birthday bot campaign, which has been really successful for not just my businesses, but also for some of the clients that we're running it for. It's one of those things where it doesn't work for every client based on the industry they're in, but the ones that it does work for, it's really good. I'm going to go into Quora ads. So Quora, if you're not familiar with it, is kind of like Yahoo Answers was, but it's taken the internet by storm, really. It's huge. It's a massive site. Like even my dad, who's 83, was on this site like 5 years ago. I don't know. He was an early adopter. He's like, I was like, what do you want? He's like, Quora. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. What is it? What is that? But their ad platform just came out 6 months ago, something like that. So it's very new. It's very hot. So why you should use Quora ads, I'm going to go into that. How to identify opportunities based on the traffic. So we can actually, there's a cool way I found to identify which Quora questions are getting traffic based on certain keywords, and then we can kind of circle back to those and put our ads only on those, right? So if someone has a question related to your client's business, we can hyper target that one, and then we can cherry pick the ones that have traffic versus the ones that do not, so we're not wasting time. And then creating remarketing audiences on there as well as audience building, which is a little bit similar to what Facebook had, but just a different approach on it, right? Let's see here. Oh, prospecting is a whole new aspect. A lot of people have been asking about doing prospecting. So with this, we're going to show you a few different ways that you may not have seen before. So a lot of people have seen email, cold outreach, and that still has its place, but cold Facebook Messenger outreach is something that's relatively new to the game. So I'm going to give you the scripts that we use to reach out to businesses and exactly what to say to them. And more often than not, you're going to get the business owner or the marketing manager in the initial contact right off the bat. So that's a great way to reach out and find new business. And let's see here. Yeah, so I have email outreach as well and follow-up sequences. A little bit, I'll be honest with you, email outreach is a little bit difficult, but there are some scripts that are better than others, and I have the ones that have worked for us in the past and still continue to produce results. So I'll give you all of those and show you how we send those out and what the follow-up process looks like. LinkedIn is a great resource. That's another PPC course I'm going to put together for you guys. I just really started that one, but there's a lot of potential for that. And then much more actually. So I don't really want to get into all of the different platforms I'm going to be teaching because actually I just wrote down a note today for a new one I want to go over, which is going to be pretty awesome. So this is not, like I said, not an all-inclusive list of everything in Traffic Tsunami because it's kind of, you know, this growing, breathing, living organism of what we're building, over the shoulder through the $1 Million Agency, and we're going to document that process as we go. So with all these things I just talked about, obviously these are upsell services for your clients. So we got them in at the lower price point. We want to offer this to them. So how do we do that? Email marketing is another great upsell. So I'm going to show you how you can offer email marketing as an agency to your clients. So I mean, we kind of started out as an SEO agency with Fusion, and then we're going to expand and become a full marketing agency by offering PPC ads. Joe's going to show you all the YouTube stuff. We can also offer, like I said, email marketing as an agency. So most of your clients are either in two scenarios. Either they already have email marketing and you can take it over for them and probably beat them on price and results. And then two is they don't do any email marketing, but they most certainly probably have a list. So we'll show you how to present an offer to them to show them why they need that value in an email list, right? And then how to close these clients for their PPC budgets, what to charge. Yeah, so that's kind of the quick down and dirty of what I'm gonna be getting into in my part. And there's a lot of individual focus on each platform, but then you're gonna see a lot of it culminating in the OTS series that Joe and I are putting together for the $1 Million Agency. So yeah, I'm excited about it. There's a lot that goes into this stuff, but it's all very powerful. And I know one person actually asked a question about just getting started in Fusion and not sure about getting to this. Here's where I'm at with that is this knowledge is very relevant right now, and it probably will be for some time because it's so hot, but it can't hurt you to have another tool in your bat utility belt. So you're like, this is like Batman of digital marketing right now. You have your SEO, you have your PPC, you've got your affiliate marketing, your YouTube agency marketing, right? So you can kind of pick and choose what best works for you. You can pick your core Fusion funnel, $5.95, $9.95, upsell them to some PPC and YouTube. And then on the side, start doing your affiliate business. This is like an investment. Honestly, an affiliate site, look at it like buying a property that's in the virtual world, because it's an asset. I mean, the affiliate side of this alone is worth the price of admission, in my opinion. Not to discount what Joe and I bring to the table, but if nothing else, like that alone, if you invest, I don't know if that answer is yes, then this probably needs to be.
And let me say this, Dan.
Yes.
I mentioned about immersion. Absolutely, Fusion stands on its own. Absolutely, it's everything that we said it was. As I also did say when I was on the webinars for Fusion, there was different ones, but it's more of a course. Traffic Tsunami and then Sales Machine in a couple of weeks. They're a bit more like coaching programs. It's a bit of a continuum, but there's the webinars once a week rather than every other week, and it's also Traffic Tsunami really covers your overall questions that can come up, whereas Fusion is just very targeted and standalone with just what it covers. Like if you're asking questions on a Fusion webinar, we really want to stick to just what's taught in Fusion. In Traffic Tsunami, there's just a lot more that you can ask about and get coached on. If you're just getting started with Fusion, again, it's totally valid to stick with Fusion, but the immersion of getting in Traffic Tsunami is going to be priceless. And when you're trying to get even your Fusion clients, you're going to come across so much more competent and well-rounded and confident because of what you're learning in Traffic Tsunami, right? It really forms one whole program, even getting in Sales Machine, where you get so competent with the selling, getting new clients. With Traffic Tsunami, where you're so competent at understanding what you're talking about, with what you can do, with what you can offer, what you can talk to from different clients that you start talking to, and they have different questions and needs and different ways that you can talk to them to appear very competent. Getting an affiliate site started for yourself, that'll increase your confidence, increase the money that you'll be making over time, and increase the proof that you have, because you can sometimes show those to potential clients and say, this is also there's another website that I have, look, it's ranking for this, for that, this other thing nationally, So if you're at all on the fence, I would definitely come into Traffic Tsunami. We made it very, very affordable for you. If you feel pretty sure you don't want to do Traffic Tsunami and you just want to stick to Fusion, and it kind of panics you to think about something else, then stick with Fusion. Fusion's, again, entirely all you need in that sense. But if you're at all on the fence, if you at all believe in the idea of immersion and really, really just surrounding yourself with this and with the coaching and feeling coached and being coached, then get Traffic Tsunami for sure. You're really not risking very much, right? At $299 a month, the minute you have one client, you're coming out ahead, you're risking nothing. The minute you upgrade one client, right? And it's really unthinkable that you won't be upgrading somebody or getting a client that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten if you're in Traffic Tsunami. So that's kind of my full answer to that. Again, it's traffictsunami.com/join, which is also in the global chat in your GoToWebinar interface, traffictsunami.com/join. All right, let's get to questions that people had. Joe, can you spearhead this with questions?
Yeah, there's a question someone had exactly what you were talking about a little bit, David. They said, I'm just starting. My biggest problem is I don't have any proof to show people. And that's
the precision mold is beautiful, yeah.
Right, they could show precision mold removal. We actually have had people do that in the past and say, we're part. These guys are part of our organization.
Joe, I'm going to get with you and import a webinar I did last year, where one of our other apprentices from our other program that had access to precision mold got on one of my webinars. I teach kind of overall success and kind of meta strategy and business success. But he got on and sales and so forth, and he got on one of my webinars and showed exactly how he uses precision mold that Greg and Joe did, right? That he didn't have to do it. He takes advantage of what's in the training, and he uses it honestly, in an honest way, for his own credibility. And so you're going to have that if you're in Traffic Tsunami with Precision Mold. And I'll get that webinar in there where you can learn from Eric Fawcett just how he does that.
Yeah, and he's doing extremely well. Like he's actually in Traffic Tsunami.
Yeah.
He's in the group for Traffic Tsunami, and we'll probably have him on some webinars also. He's a great, but he was just like you guys, right? He's starting out. He got the training. He leveraged it, and he started growing his agency. And like you said, David, you're not lying, because if you follow what's in the training, you can do that. Like we show you everything we did to rank it. All you gotta do is follow the training, and you can do the same exact thing. There's a lot of people who have already jumped in to Traffic Tsunami, and there's a couple people saying this is amazing. I love it. Can't wait for 2020. Someone just said, I'm watching the intro video by Dan
That's
right now. So yeah, so we got Ross, Virginia, Thomas, Andrew, Robert, Sheena, Leslie. So we got a lot of people just hopping in right now. So we're really looking forward to getting to know you guys.
Super. And you're going to be in a very exclusive group, because only people that are already in Fusion even hear about Traffic Tsunami. So good. Okay, so if you want to, oh, sorry, you're already spearheading the questions. I put the sales letter for Traffic Tsunami back on my screen. You can take it over anytime, Joe, if you want to continue to address anyone's questions.
Yeah, well, if you guys have questions, just stick them right here in the question box. If you asked a question earlier, restate it, because a lot of comments.
What about those? What about the Google Doc?
Oh yeah, I could pull that up. I'll pull that up right now.
And remember, guys, a lot of what we sometimes have to say to questions in Fusion is that's not covered in Fusion. Once you're on a Traffic Tsunami webinar, then you'll be able to cover almost anything as long as it's in the overall scope of what they've talked about, or pretty much virtually anything that you ask Joe, Greg, or Dan on a on a Traffic Tsunami webinar. If they know the answer, they'll probably just share it with you, about digital agencies, whether or not it's already covered in there.
And then, David, there's some people are asking if they have to join tonight. Is it going to close?
Yeah, no, there's really, we're not about to close with Traffic Tsunami. You just basically get all the benefits now when you join. I don't have any news on when and how that's closing. We'll close it in a certain way at some point, but there's not like something coming up in a day or two.
Right.
So it's pretty much, if you want it, you hop in, you get the benefits immediately. And then otherwise, I'm not going to pretend like we won't be here for you in a few weeks or a month.
All right.
Oh, but there's something important, guys, with Traffic Tsunami. Some of the training is released based on how many weeks you've been in, right? So it's not all up front, right? The stuff that you need so you're not handicapped is up front, but there's going to be some stuff that you're really going to want with over-the-shoulder training and so forth that is going to be released. It's so valuable that it's going to be released over time. But the way it's released is it's how many weeks you've been in Traffic Tsunami. So if you join in a month, then someone that joined right now is going to already have that training in a month, but you're going to have to wait a month until you get to it, if that makes any sense. We don't do that to punish anyone. It's just a natural progression of what happens with Traffic Tsunami. But that kind of is the only kind of time scarcity that's there, that's just kind of based on reality with that. So things that other people are seeing a month from now, you would have to wait 2 months if you don't join for a month, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. All right. And then, yeah, the other thing we have in Traffic Tsunami 2 is we kind of have a leaderboard, and we're going to be doing some, not so much contests, but we're definitely going to be doing some really fun stuff as people go through the training and have success.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, so there's going to be some really good stuff we have planned. So the sooner you get in there, the better. And it's going to be, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing, all designed to make sure that you guys have success, and you can grow with your agency. So, all right, let's see some of these questions that are in here.
About Fusion? Yeah. Or about, anyway, either way, you just take it away.
All right. All right, so Martin says, he thinks we're awesome, which is because he just got in, which is great. what time should we carve out for the training? I'm going to make sure I cancel all my calls and get the full effect. Would you say that, David?
I mean, like other webinars outside there.
Like he's just saying, like he's got all this training now. Andrew just joined. He wants to know, like, what's the best way to go through the training?
Traffic Tsunami. I have to imagine you start with Greg's SEO Bible, right?
Yeah.
And then you can go from there, like how you want. You can look at some over the shoulder training, the precision mold after that, right? or either direction. You can watch precision mold over the shoulder. In either case, when you learn in layers no matter what you do, guys. I taught accelerated learning for 10 years before getting into this overall online business world. And I actually need to make a video for Fusion about this. But no matter what you do, learning kind of is a framework, like a web that builds. And sometimes people think, oh, I'm not smart enough to learn this, or it's confusing. The exact same thing that's confusing, that you watch it one day, you sleep literally, right? And you look at it the next day, and it's like magic. All of a sudden, a lot more of that material is already hard-coded in your mind, and it serves as like a larger webbing or framework for you to catch and assimilate more information. So wherever you start, you're going to start building your framework or your kind of web that lets you catch more. It's like a sticky web that lets you catch more webs, right? And it grows in terms of what you're learning. But specifically Precision Mold, SEO Bible, and then you can go more of the over-the-shoulder route, or you can go more into looking at Dan's training, Joe's training, on different things.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're just fascinated by YouTube, start there with Joe. There's no one like Joe for that, things like that, or paid ads you want to dive into immediately for a client or for yourself to get clients, then go straight into what Dan has with that.
Yeah, someone just asked the question about would it be better to do Traffic Tsunami rather than Fusion? And I would just say I would still start with Fusion, get your first client, but there's no reason to not build that knowledge up of Traffic Tsunami as you go, so you know what to do when you get to that level of needing to upsell your clients. So now you can offer them Google ads, Facebook ads, or remarketing.
Yeah, you start with Fusion with the selling process is like very specific for Fusion. The fulfillment is very specific, but at the same time that, like today, start looking at the SEO Bible, because it's only going to help you tremendously in understanding better what is going on. You're going to sound better on the phone to clients no matter what. In Fusion, we intentionally, as a win-win, we gave you just what to do and like a view from 40,000 feet, but not the mid-level information. It's kind of, I think I use this analogy sometimes when I was selling on a webinar about Fusion, before you bought Fusion, when I was telling people about Fusion, there were prospects for it. Fusion kind of teaches you to be like a physician's assistant, where you can learn that much more cheaply and quickly and start making money with it, versus being a doctor, which takes freaking forever, right? 4 years of college, pre-med, then you have to get into med school, 7 years, and then you specialize after that. The difference with a doctor is they can troubleshoot, they can deal with things that go wrong in a different way, and so forth, and they command a lot more money and all sorts of stuff. Fusion is like learning to be a physician's assistant, where it's you're just going straight after something that's going to benefit you right away. You don't have to have a lot of mid-level understanding. You don't go to a physician's assistant if something goes wrong. So with what you learn in Fusion, you're not trying to troubleshoot. You're trying to do things that aren't going to cause trouble. That's on purpose what we have on that menu of what you offer when you're offering Fusion to clients. It's things that can't really go wrong for you, so you don't have to understand deeply what you're doing. But you're going to have that kind of overall understanding with the SEO Bible from Greg and so forth. And I would start watching that SEO Bible training immediately, along with doing Fusion, if you're in traffic.
There's another question came up, David, about Kosta's software in traffic.
Yeah, I meant to go to Greg. Greg, hey, there's a huge
that's such a huge thing that's going to be in here.
I forgot to have Greg talk about that.
Yeah,
finally, Traffic Tsunami is going to be worth it once Greg explains.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot to put that in my slide. So the upgraded software from Kosta, we explained in the Fusion webinar what Kosta brings, right? He's done a couple of years of work where he's had these servers going out and, collecting all these websites, and then had hired a team to personally reach out to all these websites, all so we could get links, right? And of course, I've talked to him about how I like my links done. I've kind of trained him in a way and how to get links done that way. So now he has access to all these sites that no one else has access to, and he gets links done the exact way that I want them done. You know, when I presented my slide, I said, you know, you'll learn about how Google works and how they read data. Well, I kind of taught Kosta that, and he implements that into his linking system, right? So that's number one. But number two is the upgraded software. What it does is it allows you to take even more advantage of that, because you're able to search his system by keyword, okay? And you may not understand the power behind that. Most of you probably actually don't. But again, it kind of goes back to my example about Stevie Nicks. It gives you more credibility for each link. It's more from the source, because if I have a page that's about like the best fitness programs, what I can do is I can go to Kosta's database and I can search his database for websites that are about fitness. It will search, you know, either by the domain name or by the title, or you can even search by other stuff. You can search by synonyms, because if a domain name has a keyword in it or a title has a keyword in it, Google sees that website as highly about that topic, especially if it's in the domain name. So instead of getting a link from like healthsite.com and then the inner page being about fitness, it's fitnesssite.com, and your link is from that fitnesssite.com, which makes it a lot more about fitness, not just health, like a minor subtopic. So although that sounds a little confusing, it's actually very easy for you guys, because this is plug and play. All right, you're going to watch a video from me. I'm going to show you how to implement it, and you can plug and play. You'll be able to search his database for sites that have keywords in them to even amplify your links even more. Now, I currently have been testing this. I've been testing it for about 9 months, and I have an affiliate site that is already, it's on pace to do, I believe, $5,000. It's done $5,000 actually in profit in the last month, which isn't a lot for me, but it's only a 9-month-old site. I predict within a year or so, this site could be making $100,000 or more per month, and you know, in a couple of years, it could be doing way more than that. And all that is using this upgraded software. And part of the reason of that success is because I'm able to laser target my links, make them very, very relevant at the domain level or at the title level, and that's all by searching Kosta's database. You're also able to search by traffic. So if you want to get links from like high traffic websites, or you can search by what's called domain authority, and that's like how many links a website has. So if you want a link that's more powerful, you can search for powerful websites. And you may say, well, I don't know about any of this. Like that means nothing to me because I don't understand any of that. Well, I train you on how to, you know, what to look for, when to look for it, and when to implement it.
Like the bottom line is you have these affiliate sites now that are ranking in unprecedented short periods of time. Still takes time, but it's incredible. Like, you know, 9 months to basically equal a whole income from what someone would have from a career, or way more than that. And so you're ranking way faster than normal, even for you. And because of this extra feature of what Traffic Tsunami members get from Kosta's quality guest posts, which is all going to be available in very early January, by the way, guys, for both Fusion and Traffic Tsunami. Kosta's just finishing up a flood of orders from the end of the year, and from previous OMGers, and then it'll get turned over and opened up in Fusion and Traffic Tsunami.
Yeah, and it's hard to get the value of that through to people who are more beginners or not as advanced in SEO.
I think you did a great job. I mean, you, Greg, ranking much faster than even you normally rank. I mean, based on that one feature is really something.
The thing of this, like, there's certain terms, like sometimes some terms Google won't allow a site to rank on the first page if it's not like 2 years old, you know, like really big terms. There's terms right now for my 9-month-old affiliate site where it's like my site who's 9 months old, then all sites who are like 20 years and older. I'm talking like Amazon, Best Buy, Wayfair, like just littered with sites that are super high authority, super well known. And then there's me at 9 months old. People are like, what the heck is this site doing there? You know, so, and part of that is because of this advanced software. And then of course, mixed with the style of SEO that we bring.
You need to put an image of yourself like on the SEO meta tag, like next to your sites, where you're kind of like standing like this, like looking up at the guy, or maybe, yeah, you don't want to, I know you don't want to footprint yourself that way, but that would be pretty funny to watch. All these sites like Amazon and stuff, and see Greg there on the search engine, just kind of looking around. All right, excellent, Greg. Thanks for explaining that, and thanks for reminding us of that. Joe, whoever asked the question.
And then some people are asking, is there a Facebook group for Traffic Tsunami?
Oh yeah, that's like a
Oh yeah.
full-on coaching program. So for sure, there's a full-on group. Regarding a group for Fusion, we'll look to release that. We'll likely do it, and we'll look to release it on the next over the coming week or two.
And one thing I want to add about the Facebook group for Traffic Tsunami is not only do you have a lot more contact with us, there's a lot of very experienced people in there.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people have been taking our training
Community should be
course.
really high powered.
Like
Yeah.
it's a real community, like a
Yeah,
really
people have been where you are right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
The Fusion group will be great, but we want to keep Fusion. What happens in Fusion stays in Fusion. We just want it to be only about the topics covered in Fusion and not kind of go beyond that. But with the more coaching type programs with Sales Machine and Traffic Tsunami, then it's much more where you can get in there and interact about whatever.
Yeah. All right. All right. Awesome.
It's all you, Joe. Is that good? Are we good on questions?
Yeah, I think, well, I'll go into the document. We'll answer some questions that people put in, like some
Okay.
Fusion questions. But I think in the question box, we have a few questions. There's some people who have joined Traffic Tsunami and they're asking questions in here regarding Traffic Tsunami. There will be webinars where we can we'll answer those questions. They're not going to be here like, how do I pick an affiliate site, what software to use, like that all will be in the Traffic Tsunami webinars.
And also, you'll see Greg go through his process in his existing videos, right, where he talks about how he picked.
How we did all that, yes.
So good. Okay, I'll mainly let you. I'll be on here still, and I'm recording it. But I'll let you kind of lead the webinar at this point, Joe, and end it when you're ready.
All right. That sounds good. All right. Great. So let me.
You can grab the screen and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through some of the new questions that came in, and
Or you could turn the screen off. You can just kind of grab it and not show anything. Either way.
yeah. All right. Let me just go. I'll just go through some of these because it's gonna be hard, I think, to see on the screen.
I'll address one of the questions I already answered privately in the chat. Someone was asking about specifically a Fusion question about Google My Business, image optimization, and is there a risk of over optimizing? And all I said to him was, the way I teach it in the over the shoulder is the number of images essentially equals the combination of location plus keyword, right? So I wouldn't go beyond that. So in other words, you don't want San Diego mold removal on like 5 different images. You already have that combination once, so one image covers it, and then go to the next one, and that will give you your total number of images.
All right. Great. Let's see. Colin asks, I've read the PDF for the Fusion Protocol SEO packages, but I'm still a bit unclear as to the following. What is BWT optimization? What is technical code deployment?
Bing Webmaster Tools.
What was that? Yeah.
Bing Webmaster Tools?
Yeah.
BWT? Okay.
BWT
Yeah, I mean, I don't even go into detail into that because it's not necessary. If you look at what I show, essentially all you're doing is importing Bing Places. So Google My Business, you import that directly into Bing Places and it's done, and it actually syncs and updates that way. Google Webmaster Tools and Bing Webmaster Tools, very similar. So it's more just the tracking. There's nothing really to set up there. It's a very straightforward process.
Yeah,
and I cover it in like 5 minutes on the video.
Yeah, you cover it all. I think everything that's on that PDF is covered in the training, right? So some of the questions here is like, what is citation cleanup and optimization? I mean, I think we talk about that and we cover that in the training. It's just basically where you clean up the citations, make sure that you have the right information on it.
Yeah, if you had a mismatched name or address or phone number and you want that to, you need to make sure that those are all aligned. So that's where you try to clean up bad citations and make them good.
Right. All right. So this is some sales questions. All right, someone's asking, is there training for affiliate SEO? Fusion is geared towards local SEO, but I'm interested in pursuing affiliate SEO. So yeah, well, we just talked all about that, how that's all we're going to be in Traffic Tsunami. Someone asked if there's a benefit between Google Drive or Dropbox, and I think they're kind of, it's just whatever your preference is. All right, for Dan, just watch this short video. Well, we can't watch that right now. What pictures show on a Google My Business listing? The training says to flood Google My Business with geotagged pictures. When I go to Color Bright Painting, Long Island, view photos, we only get a few. Where are the hundreds of pictures?
Say that again?
So someone's saying that they're not seeing all the pictures on Color Bright Painting.
I mean, maybe it's look. It could be in a category that was overlooked on the front end. It's easier to see it on the back end, but from the front end, you may have to click through a category.
Yeah, right, and yeah, because they're categorized by different things, like picture of your storefront, picture of your employees, pictures of your jobs. So there's all different kinds of categories in there. So Susan says, I have a new client. It's awesome. So Susan just got a client. She's a mortgage banker that works for a major corporation, which provides her website and controls it for the most part. Should I try to create a different site for her that I can control and optimize, or try to stay with the corporate version? All right. So she's basically saying she has a client who has probably a web page on a corporate site, and she's asking, should she create a new site or should she just try and rank that page? What do you guys say to that?
Does the existing page have any kind of authority?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she doesn't say, but I would say
Okay.
if the site has authority, I would definitely, you can keep that page as long as you have access to the metadata and the other things you would need to change on that page. But what would you say, Greg?
Yeah, I'd need more information to answer that one.
All right. So we have another question here about AMP. How specifically does Google AMP technology alter the appearance of a website? I had a consult with a potential client today, and I'm putting together my offer based on the contents of the gold package menu sample with 2 additional items for $14.97 a month. I want to ensure I'm pre-framing my prospect appropriately about what to expect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for this, make sure you do your research up front. So you could check and see if their website's even mobile friendly to begin with. So AMP is going to make this website mobile friendly, but that's only one aspect of it. The other aspect is that it stores it in Google servers. So you could show them an example. You could use one of my sites. I don't care. Actually, the best thing to do is go on to the resource file for Fusion, where I show you how to get AMP from the developer, and ask him to give you an example site to use. And then you can show your client. And if he does the search from Google and he clicks on the result, it loads instantaneously because it's in Google server. So you can show him, not only is it extremely fast, it's in Google's own server, which is great because you're using a Google product, but it also looks really nice too because it's mobile friendly, has great click to call buttons, and it's just a nice user experience. So that'd be my recommendation. Ask the AMP developer to give you a sample site, or a client that he has permission to show, and you could probably just use that to give an example.
Right.
Jeff, if I give a quick update on Color Bright.
Yeah, do it.
I'll show them real quick. I'll shoot another video soon, guys, because I know you're all in Fusion seeing that. if you guys remember when we started this, you guys see my screen all right?
Yep.
Yes.
And so when we started this, guys, we had no keywords ranking, or there was maybe 20, I don't remember. You guys can watch the first video. But you see now we got 115, right? And we're actually moving really slow with this site too. Like we've only done citations so far and just the basic on-page stuff. I'm waiting for Kosta to get his service ready so I can show you exactly how to order with the new software, where I probably would have ordered these by now, but it's okay. You know, we're ranking fine. You know, we like this was nowhere to be found. All these Suffolk County and Nassau County, none of these were anywhere to be found. Long Island Painter has been up as far as page 2 and it's bouncing around. That's very normal. And I'll shoot a new video and I'll tell you guys, you know, what to expect and, you know, what's normal, what's not, and kind of give you guys updates on that if you guys want to see that. And then, of course, what I'll do is I'll shoot a new video once Kosta has the software ready, which you guys are all going to get, what is it, 50% off your first 3 links. That's still coming, and that promise is going to be kept. Kosta should have that ready early January, and when that happens, I'll do some orders and I'll place it on video so you guys can see how I order it, you know, what I'm looking to do, you know, maybe some anchor text stuff I'll use, and then from there we'll see this continue to move up. But I just want to give you guys a quick update since I haven't updated.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. I wasn't really even tracking the update yet on this.
Yeah, it's moving nicely. I mean, it's again, we're taking this very slow. We've only done citations so far and a little bit of on-page changes, but it will keep moving. And if you don't know, like websites generally take 6 months or more to rank these days, and that's something you probably want to, you know, tell your clients ahead of time. Dan and Joe will be better versed to tell you how to tell them that, but it's very normal to take at least 6 months for a website to rank. So we're doing fine here, even though we're moving slow as far as, you know, what we're putting into it.
Yeah. And there's another question here. Does Greg's affiliate training get into setting up sites for Amazon? Yes, it does in Traffic Tsunami. The other thing about Traffic Tsunami too is on the webinars, like if you guys have a site, and it's a lot easier on those webinars for us to even look at, you know, if you're having trouble ranking or if you want us to look at your website, we could bring it up live on those webinars, because those are just really different sorts of webinars that we do, where we have more time to kind of really dig deep into some of the things you guys are doing. All right, so I mean, that's the questions I have. So if you guys have any more questions, stick them in the question box. If you asked them previously, I already went through the document, hit all the relevant questions, but if you guys have any other ones, put them in the question box now. Let's see. Can you get Kosta to offer us Fusion folks guest posting packages, like 3 posts for 15% off? I think he's offering a really nice discount, like amazing discount. I think he's taking a loss on those even. The discount that he's giving people.
Yeah, he only makes like a 10% margin, so that'd be impossible. He's taking a pretty big loss on what he's offering with the 3 guest posts for 50% off, just because he wants to get people rolling and, you know, get the ball rolling with people. So that's a pretty good offer from him.
Yeah. Yeah, and 2 guys, like that software, you know, we don't make any money off those links. Like, it's not like, you know, we're profiting from that. That's all just Kosta, and he's giving it to you at such a good deal. And it really, that software is a game changer for agencies and for people. Like, you know, if you saw what we had to do before that software, it's a lot more work.
And a lot of costs. God, that sounds weird. Is also he's got to pay these people who own the websites. You know, he's essentially a broker. You know, he's putting us together with them, but he's done all the hard work, and they have to be paid to allow us to place the link. So that's where a lot of that budget goes.
Yeah. Let's see. Brian asked, is insurance financial service a good niche to target for what is taught in Fusion and Traffic Tsunami? Yeah, I'd say, you know, definitely in Traffic Tsunami, you could target any niche, any person you want. In Fusion, you know, it just really depends if they're local. It really depends on who you're targeting, what the competition is, but you have all the tools you need to be able to, you know, to succeed and rank your client. I definitely think there's more inside traffic tsunami for sure. Not sure if you answered this, but when do you mention about how long it takes to get results? Before or after the sale? Dan, what would you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, you have to frame it in a way. You don't want to be disingenuous with them, so you have to be upfront in that first sales call. And I think Michael and Eric go into this a bit in their scripts, but essentially, like Greg was saying, it does take a long time to rank. In a local market, it's a bit easier. So when you start employing all the stuff we teach up front with the citations and AMP and proper on page, that'll get you very close, especially in the local market. Some of the smaller ones, you can expect some movement within, I usually tell our clients you can expect to start seeing some traffic increases by month 2 into month 3, but real results are going to be 4, 5, and 6. And that's kind of how we frame those conversations.
Yeah, I always let them know up front. Like, I'd rather tell them longer than I think it's going to take than shorter, because if you tell someone, hey, it's going to take 4 months and it's month 5 and you haven't done it yet, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
If you tell them 8 months and it's month 6 and you got it done, then you look like a hero. So it's really the way you frame it.
And this is why Tsunami is actually such an important part of this as well, because you can get your clients fast results with PPC. So when we get clients, we're already throwing AdWords up there for them. I'll say ads, Google AdWords, same thing, guys. So we'll put those out pretty quickly so we can get the phone ringing for their clients. They don't exactly know what's happening. They just know they're getting leads. So they don't care about all the little intricacies of how it's happening. They're just like, hey, getting more phone calls, getting more opt-in forms. Whatever you're doing, keep on doing it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because the client, they don't necessarily care if they're ranking, right? The reason why they want, not that they don't care if they're ranking, but the reason why they want to rank is because they want leads. So if you can get them leads and their phone ringing, that's really, really what they want. And that's where it's nice when you have a full service agency and you have the ads along with the SEO, get their phone ringing pretty fast. So someone says, I'm a member of Ampfire. How do you see this training match in the Ampfire training? I'm not familiar with Ampfire. Are you guys familiar with the training that's in there at all?
That's from Chris Munch. I'm not 100% familiar with it. I'd have to ask Mike Long a bit about that.
Yeah. All right. For little local sites, how do we leverage Kosta's guest post to maximize search results across 3 to 5 cities within close proximity?
Well, I'll kind of be showing that with Fusion. We got 3 different locations. We got 1 at the home page and 2 inner city pages, so I'll kind of be showing that. But yeah, man, I can talk about that more in some videos I do for Fusion, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Do you have any type of legal disclaimer in terms of service with clients to protect your business? If so, where can I get a good one? We kind of package this together in the better proposal that they sign. I know Eric and Michael show this, I believe, and it's a very small thing. It's just something to look back on and say, all right, well, you signed this and you understand that, I wasn't guaranteeing results. I can say I've gotten X results for my clients up to this point, and I, have full intention to get you the exact same results. But again, Google is Google, and we don't control them. So any kind of terms of service that you put in there would be good. I don't know if we have. I'll have to ask Eric and Michael if they have that template in there. Do you know, Joe, if they have that?
I'm not sure. If they do.
Tell you what, yeah, whoever asked that question, just open up a support ticket in Fusion as a reminder, and I'll make sure it gets to the right department.
And then what I do for affiliate, Justin, I think he's with affiliate because he said for Greg, I'm guessing. Okay. So what I do is I always look at like who's ranked up top for those affiliate terms, like the big affiliate sites in that niche, and I check out their terms of service and I kind of just say them in a different way. Especially when I first started with Amazon, with Amazon, you have to say, you're an Amazon associate, and if you click a link on the site, I may make money from it. If you don't say that, you get kicked out of the program. So what I usually do is I start with the top affiliate sites in the niche I'm in, and I kind of say what they say in a different way, to be honest with you.
All right, so Roger's asking if we have a high level view of Fusion, like a 10,000 foot view. We find clients, here's the tools we use, we send this information to them. That's basically what Fusion is. It's basically step by step. We show you over the shoulder how we show you the sales call for the client, Color Bright Painting. I think Eric shows you how he closed them, and then we show you step by step how we fulfill it. So that's really, that's how the training's designed, pretty much, unless I read that question wrong.
No, I mean, that seems right. I mean, just the general overview of what it is, try to get your client however you can, whether it's a business you frequent or a family member even, and it's about fulfilling real results that they can be happy with, no matter who they are, and then being able to upsell them later on.
Yeah. All right, so Brian says, thanks guys, signed up for Traffic Tsunami, excited to what's next? All right, Brian, that'll be great to see you in there. Look forward to seeing you on the webinars there. Daniel says, not done all the videos yet. Is there a video on site audits and key markers to look for when choosing sites that would have an easier time getting results for clients to not go for? So I think he's asking if there's going to be training in there inside Fusion on how to look at a client site to maybe not go for them. I don't know. I don't
analyzing competition for clients.
What's that?
Like analyzing competition for clients.
Right.
Local clients you shouldn't have to, right? But you guys would answer that better.
Yeah, when you're prospecting at that point, you don't need to go that deep of a level. You're just trying. You're trying to really put your feelers out there to the masses and take what you can. So you don't need to go to that level of research. That's going to take up a lot of your time if you're trying to do that for all kinds of potential clients.
And I think maybe if they have a client, like if you have a plumber, you don't research whether or not you're going to try to rank for their city and plumber. You're just going to go for it, right? Or no, if it's local. Or am I wrong?
Yeah,
I mean, if you're a client and he's in that area, you have to. You're working with him no matter what the competition is.
Yeah.
Right. You do the service for him. You're going to help him no matter what. You're going to get him higher.
Exactly.
You're not going to say I'm not going to go after a plumber, Orlando, just because you just do it, right?
No, definitely not. Especially not with the training that you get in here.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if you have any issues,
this is the group that outranks those people.
Right. Exactly.
And two, for local, you have the map listings, which is really a game changer. And the map listing, the map training that's in Fusion is by far the best out there. So so you won't have a problem. I think that's all the questions, guys. If you have any more questions, put them in a question box right now. If not, we could pretty much wrap up, I think.
And there's always the Google Doc, and we'll have, we have webinars every other week, so we'll get to all the questions. And we had those two really comprehensive Q&A webinars last month, and so I think we got to things pretty well. The Fusion training is pretty targeted.
Brian asking, does Fusion Command Center offer reports where a site is ranking in Google? Yes, there's a rank tracker inside Fusion Command Center where you put your keywords and you could see where it's ranking for the various keywords. Okay, we got thanks guys. All right, so James Noble says have a happy holiday. So thanks, James. We will.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah,
Merry
happy
Christmas.
holidays. All right, Tom says he's ready to start learning. All right. So yeah, I think that's it for the questions that I see.
Thanks, Joe.
David, so I don't know if you want to close it out or what you want to do.
No, we're good. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Dan, very much. Thanks, everyone, for being on here, for joining Fusion, and for those in Traffic Tsunami. So great to have you inside. For those who are planning on joining it soon, look forward to having you there. And great, we'll be here with you. See you on the inside. Take care, everyone. Thanks for
All right,
participating.
see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.